how's it going, everyone? This is going to be the unboxing of the EasySMX X05 wireless controller. So believe it or not, this is going to be my second controller that got sent to me. So EasySMX actually reached out to me and asked me, do I want to do an unboxing and review of this controller? And I was like, sure, why not? I would actually love to. So thank you, EasySMX company, for sending me this controller. So this controller is for the PC, Switch, iOS, and Android. Looks like it's like a basic controller, has RGB around the two thumbsticks for the left and right thumbsticks. Hall effect joysticks, Hall effect triggers, multi-mode switching, and stylus RGB mode. All right, so yeah, that's pretty cool. So without further ado, let's get into this. See if I can open this up. We're going to, there we go, got that. Basic packaging. Looks like could use better packaging, but here we go. Nothing else in the box, so put the box to the side. All right, so this is everything here. I'm gonna start off with the controller, which, dongle's right here too. Packaging is tight. It's really tight, so, but it's like little fake, little plastics, don't matter. So here's the controller right here, and holding this controller in the hand. So this controller has Hall effect joysticks. They feel nice so far. I do like the little ring around the joysticks. That actually feels really comfortable, very grippy, and even with just the slightest little touch, I can work around these joysticks. And because the Hall effect joysticks have no parts that are basically rubbing against each other, basically it helps prevent stick drift. Now, it's not 100% impossible for these Hall effect joysticks to get stick drift, but it just removes one of the biggest components that causes stick drift, which is basically the like a bunch of parts that are rubbing against each other. So this just uses magnets, which is really good. But yeah, the sticks feel really nice. ABXY, these are definitely membrane buttons, and they're good. For membrane buttons, they're good. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, really good. This is supposed to be like a standard like controller, so I know they got the X05. This is the X05. I know they got the X010 model that I'm also going to be reviewing. But yeah, this yeah, ABXY is pretty good. You got your start select, or it looks like start share. You got this button in the middle, which I am interested in mode. You got an M button, which I assume is the mode button. Your guide button right here. You got your left bumper and right bumper, and pressing them, no complaints, they're really good. Pulling the triggers. Yeah, they're comfortable. It's really comfortable in the hands. I do like the light resistance with these Hall effect triggers, and also they pull back like very well. Like, it's very smooth. And looking at the back of the controller, so right here is where you actually can change the mode. So you can change it from dongle mode to Bluetooth mode to Nintendo Switch mode. So yeah, middle is Bluetooth, to the left is the Nintendo Switch, and all the way to the right is your dongle mode. So, and actually, I want to see, I'll turn this controller on. Actually cool, it got a cool, nice little RGB ring. I like that. I wonder if I could switch this. I probably have to hook this controller up to connect it to something to see actually the lights change, but the, interesting. I'll figure out how to control the RGBs for this controller, but the RGBs on this controller does look very nice. I actually do like the like RGB ring around the joysticks, and it also acts as a little rub ring, so when you roll the sticks, they actually rub around really nice. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But let's look at some other stuff. So it looks like you get some thumb grips. That's nice of them. Let's see what these thumb grips are. All right, I get soccer, or I'm sorry, America calls it soccer, the rest of the world calls it football. So let's see if I could fit this on here. All right, here we go. Got both of the thumb grips on, and I have to say the football / soccer for American joysticks, they feel really nice. As a matter of fact, it's like has like this crazy amount of grip where I can really grip this controller now. But yeah, let's see what else you get. You get a USB-A to USB-C cable, of course. Looks like a pretty generic USB-A to USB-C cable. Jesus, this thing is like, I don't even know if it's 3 feet. This is like 2 feet. Huh, well, if you got that, put that to the side. Of course, you get your cool looking dongle for you to hook up your controller. So I'm curious to see what's gonna be faster for wireless connection. Is it gonna be the Bluetooth or is it gonna be the dongle? We will see. And last but not least, a pamphlet to learn how to do everything. Looks like it gives you some information about the controller. Basically, the battery life for this controller is a 750 milliamp battery power. Looks like a charge time is 2 to 3 hours, and input voltage it can take as 5. So you got your button reset mode. The O button is the M button. That's interesting. Basically teaches you how to connect it to the switch, how to connect it to your PC with the USB dongle, how to connect it using RGB. Change your light mode. Use the left joystick up and down and switch between light modes. Steady on, breathe, and drizzle. Change the lighting color. Use the left joystick right to left. Interesting. So, yeah, it looks like these structures ain't gonna work unless it's actually connected to something. But that's okay, because we're probably gonna do the next part of this video. So I'm gonna connect this controller to my PC, of course play some video games, do input latency test, joystick accuracy test, and test out this cool X05 controller. So far, I actually do like it for the price around between like 30 or 40 bucks. I think so far, holding this controller in my hand is really good. D-pad? Yeah, D-pad's cool. I'm definitely going to start playing some fine games just to test out the D-pad and retro stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's move on with this video. All right, guys, so here we are with the gamepad tester. So as you see, I have the controller connected right here with all of the buttons working. Also flicking around the joysticks, I noticed that the joysticks drop at the axis of 0.00002. Moving around very slowly. I kind of noticed that this controller definitely has dead zones preset for this controller. I guess the dead zones are usually around like 5%. So, but the controller is actually very, very responsive, which I really do like. And without further ado, let's do a joystick accuracy test to see the accuracy of these joysticks. All right, here we go. Up, down, do a little spin. All right, I got 0.5% on the left stick and 0.4% on the right stick. So left stick has a higher error rate by 1%, but even still, the error rate is not that high, which is very good for this controller. Can I not? Wait, what? I knocked it down to 0.4%? Okay, so I guess there was like a little error rate. So yeah, just keep on circling this around. 3%. What is going on? I wonder if is this like self-correcting itself? Must be, but either way, oh, now it's back up to 0.4%. But either way, looking at the accuracy of these joysticks, these are very accurate joysticks, and I expect nonetheless for Hall of Fame joysticks on this controller. So yeah, without further ado, let's do an input latency test for this controller. All right, guys, so here we are with XInput Tester. So right now I have the controller hooked up to my PC via dongle connection. So we're going to do 1000 sample rate to see the input latency for this controller. So get my thumb ready. Here we go. All right. Ooh, this is pretty solid. Very solid. Yeah, solid for millisecond input latency. So that means that this pulling rate for this controller is set to 250 pulling rate. Now it looks like I had a couple of outliers which knocked the score down slightly, which, you know, with a little bit of 11 seconds here and there. But honestly, a very solid performance for this controller using dongle mode. Yeah, a lot of 3.8, 3.9s with very few little outliers here and there. But yeah, this is a solid performance for a wireless dongle mode. So, all right, let's go try out Bluetooth mode. All right, guys, I am back with the XInput Tester. So now I have my controller hooked up to my PC via Bluetooth, and my current computer supports Bluetooth 5.2. So it shouldn't have any issues getting the highest or the lowest input latency for this controller with a Bluetooth connection. So without further ado, let's get this test started using Bluetooth connection. Okay, whoa. Look, what is this? What do I see? 1s and 13s? This is wow, this is interesting. 1 millisecond input latency, which is good. It's like it jumps between 1, 13, 1, 13, 1, 13, 1, 13 with overall a 7.5 input latency pull rate honestly isn't bad for the average score with the pull rate of 133, which is slightly above that pull rate of 125 and 8 millisecond input latency. So yeah, this is a pretty sporadic, all over the place. It looks like it's really hitting that 1%, then it jumps up to 13. So I really don't know what to call for this one. It isn't the worst overall score with the 8 millisecond input latency, but definitely not the best either. So it's interesting. This is a solid performance, I guess. 8 millisecond input latency is pretty solid for controllers. So for Bluetooth settings, it's all right. But without further ado, let's test the wire connection for this controller. Alright guys, I am back with XInput Tester. So as you see, I now have the controller hooked up with the wire connection. So without further ado, let's test the input latency when you have your controller hooked up with the wire connection. Woo! Oh my god, that was fast. Alright, so clearly this controller got a pulling rate of 965 with a couple outliers. So it's clearly set to 1000 pulling rate, but yeah, look at these numbers, man. Input latency with the wire connection, this is really great. This is awesome, actually. So it hit that like 1.03 millisecond input latency. So yeah, definitely a really solid numbers right here. So this controller is actually really good for competitive scenes with a wire connection. So if you want a budget-friendly controller with a decent input latency with a wire connection, yeah, this definitely passes. So wow, good job. Good job, EasySMX. Good job. Hey guys, how's it going? So one of the 2 features I want to show you about this controller is how to activate turbo mode. So turbo mode is really simple with this controller. So all you gotta do is hold the M button and press A, B, X, Y, left bumper, right bumper, left trigger, right trigger. Or you can use the D-pad. Any of these buttons can be set as a turbo function. So we're going to use A as the example. So like I said before, hold the M button and we're going to press the A button. Now this activates turbo mode for the button, and you can increase the speed and decrease the speed of the turbo button by holding the M button and flicking the left stick. Flicking it over will increase the speed of it till it looks like it's like 20 hits a second. And if you were to flick the stick again, if you flick the stick to the right, it increases the speed. If you flick it to the left, it actually decreases the speed. So I flicked it twice, and now as you see, I have lowered the turbo speed for this controller. And if you want to clear any turbo functions on this controller, all I gotta do is hold the mode button and press the corresponding button that you already had turbo mode activated, and it goes back to being a regular button. So there you have it. That is how you do turbo mode. And let me put this controller on the charger because the LED's blinking red, letting me know that this controller needs to be charged. Alright guys, so for this I'm going to show you guys how to configure the RGB light rings around the left stick and right stick. And this is actually a really easy thing to do. So the first thing you want to do is actually hit the mode button twice, like double tap it. This will put you in the light configuration mode. So with the left stick, if you flick the left stick left and right, you can actually switch the colors of the RGB between the many colors that it supports. And if you flick the stick up and down, you actually are changing the light mode from like a breathing mode to basically like this rainbow mode right here to another like breathing mode. So yeah, this controller supports many different modes as far as its RGB lights, and you can set it to however you want. Oh, here's breathing mode. So, and if once you're done like configuring the lights for this controller, what you want to do is you actually want to hit the mode button again, and it will basically lock in place the current light configurations. And that's pretty much how you configure the lights for this controller. Alright guys, so I have been using this controller for about 3 weeks, and here are my thoughts on this controller. First off, I would like to say that ergonomic wise, the controller is actually very comfortable to hold in hands. I have used this controller in a variety of different games, from first person shooters to fighters to action adventure hack and slash games and racing games, and I have to say, like, for a budget friendly controller, that this controller is a great option for all types of gameplay. One of my favorite things about this controller is the fact that this controller comes with Hall effect joysticks and triggers, and the fact that when you plug this controller into your PC with a wire connection, the input latency for this controller is 1 millisecond. The 1 millisecond input latency is a really good thing, so if you ever are playing any competitive games like fighting games or first person shooters, you can be confident that fact when you go around that corner, you immediately look down the sights and shoot, that as soon as you hit that left trigger to aim down sights and right trigger to shoot, it will look down the sights and shoot precisely at that same time. So that is a really good thing about this controller. And also, like, ergonomic wise, well, not ergonomic, cosmetic wise, I have to say, like, it's a pretty cool looking controller. I really do enjoy the RGB lights on it. Also like the fact that you can like customize the RGB lights on this controller, like it's to different colors or to different light modes. I have to say, like, yeah, it's a cool looking controller. So a controller that is ergonomically like comfortable to hold in the hands, has Hall effect joysticks and Hall effect triggers, and with a wire connection has an input latency of 1 millisecond, and with a wireless connection is an input latency of 4 milliseconds. I have to say, for $30, this is a valuable option for this controller. Oh, by the way, this controller also works on the Nintendo Switch as well, which I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so there's that too if you want to get this controller for a competitive edge. But for PC, I can definitely recommend this controller as far as like a budget-friendly Hall effect joystick controller with a low input latency. Yeah, the EasySMX is a solid controller for $30. I have to give it like a 9 out of 10. I can't think of any other controller priced at $30 that has a 1 millisecond input latency and Hall effect joystick and Hall effect triggers. Now, I do know that the industry is moving towards Hall effect joystick and triggers, but I haven't seen too many controllers around a $30 price point that actually has 1 millisecond input latency. So again, this is a solid option for PC gaming. Thank you, EasySMX, for sending me out this controller to review. I really do enjoy this controller, and yeah, this is a solid controller for PC for a budget-friendly controller. So there you have it, EasySMX X05, solid 9 out of 10. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you like this video, you should do me a favor and hit that like button for me, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm also going to leave a link in the description to where you can buy this EasySMX controller, so that way if you're interested in buying this controller, just look in the description and you will find this controller. Also, another reason why you should subscribe and also hit that notification bell is because I got more EasySMX products, such as their mobile controller gaming lineup. So yes, I have the M05 and the M10 mobile controller. That's usually for Android and iOS, or I'm sorry, Android and iPhone 15. And I have the Easy X10 controller. So yeah, definitely subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and I will let you guys know my thoughts on these controllers, so that way you guys will know if you really want these controllers or if you do not want these controllers. But without further ado, again, thank you EasySMX for sending me out that X05 controller. It is a really cool budget controller, and I will see you guys next time with my next controller review. Until then, see you guys later. Peace.